Hi, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're going to start a little series checking out Tunnel of Love by Straits, of course featuring a load of incredible guitar playing by Mark Knopfler. This lesson we're going to be looking at the rhythm part, the chords, the different rhythms, the arrangement, that kind of stuff. I'm going to talk it through first of all, and then I'll do a full play along with the track at the end. You won't hear the original track, but I'll be playing along with it so you can see kind of how I'm putting the pieces together. I will, of course, have to make a few little artistic interpretations there where there's no guitar in the original recording. It's mostly filled up with piano, but I'm hoping that that kind of playthrough will help you piece all of the parts together properly. First thing with this one that's a little bit strange is that I think it's played with a pick. Either that or Mark's got like a really full-on callus on his thumb that kind of sounds a bit, not plasticky, but when trying to get the sound right for this tune, I didn't even think about using a pick, and I've been mucking around with loads of different sounds and adjusting the tone. Then I just grabbed, there was something about listening to it on one particular occasion. I was like, hang on, that could be a pick. And as soon as I started playing the rhythm part with a pick, sounded just right. So I'm going to show it to you using a pick. But I know Mark Knopfler fans, he doesn't use a pick. He's a fingerstyle player, but perhaps in this period, I don't know, either there was another guitar player that played the rhythm, or Mark Knopfler used a pick, or he's got some sort of freaky callus that made it sound like a pick anyway. So it could be any one of those things. I'm going to try and take you through the sections one at a time. And then, like I said, I'll do a playthrough at the end where you can figure out how the pieces fit together. There are quite a few different sequences and parts to this song, so it's going to take a little bit of listening and learning. I've got a chart that I've made for myself, but because of the copyright stuff, I can't give it away to you. But I will try and explain to you how you might end up making your own chart for this kind of thing as we go through. So let's make a start. The song is in the key of D minor. It's using the chords of F major. Okay, we're starting and finishing on D chords. That feels like home, so I tend to call it D minor, but it's the chords in the key of F major. So F major, G minor, A minor, B flat major, C major, and D minor, based around the chord of D minor, like I said. So starting off with the very intro, we've got hits. So meaning that we're playing the chord once and letting it ring out. We start with a D on beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. And it's just dropping back to a C on the and after 2 of the second bar. Okay, it can be a little bit weird if you're not used to counting like that. It can really help to be thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. Okay, hope you get it right in time with the rest of the band if you're playing on the hit. It's a D minor chord. Right, it would be the full chord, but I'm pretty much hearing only just the power chord there. So you could play either the full chord or the power chord. I'll be using the power chord. So we have the D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. That's the C, and then back on 1. Now, weirdly, and I only just picked up on this doing the transcription, there's this little kind of slide thing going on there on beat 2. Beat 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and then it's B flat, C, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, from the B flat to the C. I'll take you through that 4-bar sequence again. If you're writing your own chart, I recommend just taking a manuscript page and dividing it into 4 bars per line. You're going to have D for a bar, then if you want to write out the rhythm, you write the C on the and after 2 if you're into doing that. Otherwise, just write a C in that bar somewhere. Then D, 2, 3, and 4. 1, B flat, C will go in the 4th bar. Okay, nice and slow. 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to do that if you want. I was kind of surprised it's in there. But it sounds cool. Now, the second time through that same sequence is almost the same, but we've got an F chord in the second bar. So we'd have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the second 4 bars. Okay, D, F, C. Note the C is pushed. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So the rhythm I'm using there on the D, it changes up depending on where you are in the song. Okay, so the rhythm's not super duper consistent. It fits with the tune really well all of the way through. It's also a difficult thing for me to remember. Now I'm not playing along with the track, I find. As soon as I'm playing along with the track, it's easier to kind of lock into the groove and all of that. So But a nice 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 is a rhythm. Down, 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 down. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Using all downs there, but again, when it picks up a little bit, sometimes I might be using an upstroke on some of the ands. Okay, usually playing a downstroke on the beats. Let me play through that intro then, the first 8 bars. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then we're into the verse sequence. The first verse sequence, it moves into kind of more of an 8th note-y feel. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, you can hear I'm doing an accent. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, it's not that consistent like right the way through the tune, but that would be a good starting point. With all of these kind of tunes, you've got to have somewhere to start, a rhythm that I can share with you, and then you need to listen to the original recording and decide how much you're going to pick up on. So the chord sequence is going D for a bar, F to C. There's a couple little fills I'll talk about in a second. That's 2 bars of C, then it goes to G, 2, 3, 4 for 2 bars, and then back to D, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just dropping back to the C chord for beats 3 and 4 of the last bar of that 8-bar sequence. Okay, so 1 bar of D, 1 bar of F, 2 bars of C, 2 bars of G, 1.5 bars of D. Just a little C at the end there. Now, there's a couple of really, really nice fills that he uses in this part. The first one comes on the C chord. So we have the D, F, now C, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. So C, 2, 3, and 4, and on the and after 3, he's lifting off the first finger to play the open A. Beat 4, his first finger's going down on the 3rd fret of the thicker string, and then back to the A before going to the continuing on with the C. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and going to the G. 3 and on the open E, which is the 3rd of C anyway. And then either to an F chord or an F note. Again, hard to hear in the tune whether it's a power chord or a single note. I've got to mix it up and we'll play either, to be completely honest. On the G, there's a little 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, a little slide. And often you hear it going to the D as well. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2. So if I try and play that, an example of the verse sequence there again now. So D, F, C, to the G, slide, and now and sometimes as well I can hear little either E, F or A, F. So he's playing an open string there just to bridge between the D and the F. To the C. In fact, I think I did another one. Moving from the F, I used an open A. Now I can't remember if that's on the record, but it's the kind of thing that would happen. You might find it just happens when you go to play this tune, and that's fine. One more time. D, F, C, climbing up to the F, slide, now that first time the verse comes around, it happens 4 times. Later in the song, it's definitely losing the, Okay, so if you want to check out exactly when it's happening on the original recording, you're just going to have to listen to it, because I can't go through it in that much detail. I'm giving you the puzzle pieces, but you are going to have to do a little bit of the research on your own. Really good way of doing that is just to be playing along with the original recording with your guitar, not plugged into anything, listening to the original one and trying to keep your ears on what's going on and hearing where it doesn't quite match up with what your finger's doing. With this kind of lesson, I should be giving you enough for you to be able to do quite a detailed replication of this tune if you choose to do so. So after 4 times around there, we've got a little kind of a pre-chorusy thing. We go into the B flat for a bar, C for a bar, F for a bar, and back to B flat, F, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, there's this little step up, which I always thought was different, but again, listening to the original recording to do this lesson accurately, there's step-ups on the A power chord to C. Again, the proper chord would be A minor to C if you were strumming something, but A to C, A power chord to C power chord works for me fine. Let me take you through that sequence again. I'll do it a bit slower so I can count more. So B flat, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, B flat, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, A, C, D, 2, 3, C, B flat. Now B flat, I can hear this little line. I'm not certain the rhythm part's doing. Using second finger down seems a little bit too complicated and a bit stretchy, so it could just be the melody that I'm hearing either on another instrument or in the lead guitar part is definitely playing that. That sounds funny that we've got A, C, D, C, the chord progression after the F. Love a bit of A, C, D, C, me. So F, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, A, C, climbing up to the D, 2, 3, 4. The C chord is just happening on beat 4. Okay, let me take you through that to another 8-bar sequence again. So B flat, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, F to B flat. There's an F on the wall, 1, 2, A, C, D, C, B, flat. And then we're into the chorus. So again, really good idea to write these things out, giving yourself notes about the rhythm. That step down on the C is on beat 4, the A to C, climb up to D is happening 3, 4, 1. You know, being aware of what those rhythms are and learning to count can really, really help you with a tune like this where there's a bit of stuff going on in the arrangement. The chorus, D, it'd be D minor again, but D, F, C, D, B flat, C, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 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 1, 2, and 3, and 4. It's the rhythm it's a good general rhythm. Like I said, you've got to listen to the original to get more detail, but 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Down, 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 down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Like I said, some of those, the ands will end up being up strums, especially if you're getting more into the kind of knoflery style parts. It becomes a little different. But he's playing it with finger style and adding a lot more little fills into the general proceeding. So have to be a little careful there. So we've got the intro, that was the verse, then we had a pre-chorus, and then the chorus. And it goes back then again to the verse, and then another pre-chorus, and then a chorus. Then we get into the Girl You Look So Pretty to Me section, which is a 10-bar sequence now rather than an 8-bar. So if you're doing, the last 4 bars are on C, so if you're doing that idea of making your own chart with 4 bars on each line, just the last, what would be bars 7, 8, cut them in half, and that way you've got a little 10-bar sequence. The chord sequence is G minor for 1 bar, to the B flat. It's not actually, we're not at the Girl You Look So Pretty to Me part, we're at the okay, I should remember the words. Can't remember any of the words just now, it's just because I'm doing this lesson. I can normally sing along with it. Anyway, it's G minor, 2, 3, 4 to B flat, 2, 3, 4, G minor to B flat again, bar on each one, G minor to B flat to C, rock away, rock away. don't think it's doing, it's a keyboard or something else is doing that line. I think it's just staying on the C. Okay, so let's revise this little bridge now before we get to the chorus. So that was G minor for 1 bar, to B flat, 2, 3, 4, G minor, to B flat, G minor, to B flat, to C, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You look so pretty to me. Okay, now we're into that massive chorus there. What a beautiful melody it is as well. So for this one we have F for a bar and a half. So 1 bar, and then on beat 3 we go to C with an E bass. Now it would appear from watching video clips and using my ears that it's like a C, regular C bar chord, but with the low E. But I also feel sometimes that I'm hearing C with an E bass like this. So, girl, you look so pretty to me. So you get that movement down to the D minor, okay? And then it's definitely a D minor here as opposed to a D power chord. So the chords sound a little bit bigger. So F, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, D minor. And there's that little movement here, D minor, and then lifting it off so you get basically C. But I think is what's going on. So D minor, lift off the fingers, up strum from the 2nd string to the B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and this F. Now it's an F chord, but I'm pretty sure I'm hearing this A note. So really you probably want to be using a C-shaped F chord. Okay, so it's little finger down on the 8th fret, 3rd finger on the 7th fret, 1st finger bar in the thinnest 3 strings, and 2nd finger on the 6th fret. And then we've got this jump to the B flat and just a C at the end for the sequence. So we end up with F, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to do that fill, by the way. There's going to be lots of opportunities to play this. I should explain this C chord as well, because I know some of you are going to be looking at this and going, what the hell is he doing? It just happens that my little finger is not strong enough to hold like a C chord like that. Well, actually it seems like it can be, but I've got to mangle my 3rd finger. But something I've been doing a long time is putting my 3rd finger kind of on top of my little finger like that, and it ends up, so I'm pressing with my 3rd finger, but it's my little finger that's actually touching the strings. It's just easier. If I do this, you can see my hand, the angle of my hand changes, and if I'm like this, it's kind of, I can move between an E-shaped bar chord and that chord a lot more comfortably with less movement of my hand. Okay? I find it more comfortable. Most people will probably find that more comfortable using 1st finger and 3rd finger, but it's, you know, so a lot of people use their little finger like that, but like I said, mine's too short and not strong enough, so I have to reinforce it with the 3rd finger just to clarify that little situation. So the chorus, there's lots of different rhythms that are going on with the chorus at different times in the song as well. So I tend to feel it a little bit more strummy than the other part. But you know, you don't have to play it that way. There's a nice strummy acoustic guitar part later on, which is definitely big 8th note strummy through this section, but you can kind of make it a bit more. make it a little bit more choppy and experiment with the rhythm a little bit more if you want for that section as well. Now the solo. Solo's got a really interesting thing going on as well. F to C, D minor, that was a B flat to C, F to B flat. So we got F, 1, 2 and 3, but making sure we do strum, mute, muting with the outside part of the hand, palm of the picking hand that is. Now we're changing to the C, down, up, down, 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 up. So it's a down, up, which would be the last two 16th notes of beat 2. 1, 2, and a 3 and 4 and. So 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and a 3 and 4 and. That's the same rhythm pattern with the B flat, but actually I'm pretty sure I can hear. So 1, 2 and a 3 and 4 and lifting off first finger to hear that low A. C with that same rhythm. I'm not sure if it's all downs or doesn't really matter, I don't think, particularly with that one. That's the F chord, B flat. We got this B flat, mute, B flat, mute, and then a slide up to the C. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so that chorus again, it plays through that sequence twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Minor, F to C, D minor, B flat to C. So it's the same as the first chorus sequence there for the end of the solo. After the solo, it plays the verse again, then another pre-chorus, chorus, times 2, plays the chorus twice as long that time, just to be aware of that. And then we go into the bit with all of the piano and the lovely outro solo, which is all based around that second chorus pattern. If you're going to play rhythm guitar like in a band without a piano player, you're going to have to play it anyway, and you just play it a little bit more delicately and pick out some notes individually. So you just have the F, just be a bit more delicate. It's when you're interpreting another part, you've got a little bit more free rein to explore the grips that you use and the licks and the fills and stuff. Do remember though, there's somebody going to be doing a guitar part there, so you don't want to be getting in the way. You want to keep the rhythm parts fairly simple, unless there's an obvious part where your guitar playing can complement the other guitar. So that's the whole tune then. It plays around on that sequence there for the end. But of course, again, if you're learning a tune like this, you've got to be listening a lot to the original recording and picking up as much as you want to pick up. Because, I could spend a year studying this tune to try and pick up all the little details. I've tried to pick up as many as I feel is useful for me to learn and for you to learn. But there's a lot more stuff that you can get into, which is all beneficial, but it depends on the level and the time that the level of detail you want to get into, how much you love the tune, and what sort of level of guitar player you are and where you want to be and all of that sort of stuff. There's many variables on that. For me, I want to be able to play the tune well enough to be able to jam along with the original recording, enjoy playing that, pick up a few of the little, these little... I'd never noticed that before I started transcribing it to teach you guys. So maybe when you go through and you're learning it, you'll pick up some other bits that I haven't picked up on. That would be a cool thing. So, listening is a really important part of it, and like I said, playing along where you're playing quite enough that you're listening to the original recording and seeing where it might be different to what you're doing, I think is a really useful kind of thing to be doing as well. So I hope I've given you enough detail here. If there's anything else that you're not sure about, let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can't add it into some of the future lessons. I'm going to be working on the solo parts now. I've got to do a little bit of practice more on them myself, but I figured it's kind of makes sense for me to go through each one part, learn it and then teach it, because actually, you know, I've got the memory of a sieve and I can't remember a lot of the tunes that I've taught. They seem to go in one ear, I do the lesson, and then they're gone. Hopefully they kind of linger in there somewhere and are quick for me to relearn if I need to. But generally, if you meet me in a pub one day, don't ask me to jump up and play Sultan to Swim, because I won't remember it. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you dig what I do. I really appreciate the support. Remember, there'll be additional notes and help over on the website. There'll be a link in the description. If you're over on the website, make sure that you're a registered user, because you get access to some PDF files, different tabs. Not for this particular tune because I can't do songs because of the copyright thing. But we've also got some really incredible new features just about to launch there. So do go and check that out. I'll see you for plenty more lessons, including the rest of this song, very soon. I'm going to be working on the solo parts now. I've got to do a little bit of practice more on them myself, but I figured it's kind of makes sense for me to go through each one part, learn it and then teach it, because actually, you know, I've got the memory of a sieve and I can't remember a lot of the tunes that I've taught. They seem to go in one ear, I do the lesson, and then they're gone. Hopefully they kind of linger in there somewhere and are quick for me to relearn if I need to. But generally, if you meet me in a pub one day, don't ask me to jump up and play Sultan to Swim, because I won't remember it. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you dig what I do. I really appreciate the support. Remember, there'll be additional notes and help over on the website. There'll be a link in the description. If you're over on the website, make sure that you're a registered user, because you get access to some PDF files, different tabs. Not for this particular tune because I can't do songs because of the copyright thing. But we've also got some really incredible new features just about to launch there. So do go and check that out. I'll see you for plenty more lessons, including the rest of this song, very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. You take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.